Good evening, Black people and all allies fighting for Black liberation, Black prosperity, and Black joy. I am Nayyera Haq, in for Charles Blow. Welcome to Prime. Today, a music icon is held accountable after nearly 30 years of crimes against young Black girls, boys, and women. 50 eyewitnesses testifying over the course of 6 weeks, and after just 9 hours of deliberation, R. Kelly is found guilty of more than enough crimes to land him in jail for the rest of his life. Most all of the victims were young, Black, and poor. They went up against an international celebrity worth nearly $100 million, and they were heard. This is a moment of accountability. We've heard rumors, seen court cases, and documentaries for years. So why did this accountability happen now? Is it the hashtag activism of Me Too and Mute R. Kelly? Well, joining me now to discuss how we arrived at this moment as a culture are the creator of Oscars So White and co-founder of She Will Rise, April Reign. We've co-founder of the Mute R. Kelly movement, Kenyette Tisha Barnes, and author of Hood Feminism, Mikki Kendall. April, let's start with you. You were able to create a movement in Hollywood off of a hashtag. That's Oscars So White. So why do you think accountability worked in this case?
Well, we have to give all praise to the Black women who have been championing this cause from the very beginning. That includes Kenyette Barnes, who co-founded the Mute R. Kelly hashtag. That's Tarana Burke, who created the Me Too movement. In addition to the two Black women directly involved with Surviving R. Kelly, the show, which was another hashtag that was used when it aired on Lifetime. Bree Bryant, who's the senior vice president of unscripted programming at Lifetime, and Dream Hampton, who is an executive producer on the show. I think as Black women assembled like Voltron and were able to finally get some accountability for this man who assaulted and raped young Black girls and boys and young women for decades.
And you mentioned, of course, the Mute R. Kelly campaign. I'm so glad that we're able to have Kenyette with us today, because that was a particular sliver of holding entertainers accountable, right? Oscars So White, broader Hollywood industry, and Kenyette, you focused in on R. Kelly himself. Why was it so important to start this campaign against this particular individual?
Because R. Kelly has demonstrated that when the victims are Black and brown and poor, there isn't this activism around him. There isn't the support. Currently, less than 3% of sexual crimes even lead to conviction. That number is cut, in half when the victims are people of color, especially Black women and girls in particular. And we have the language of adultification and misogynoir that lets us know that Black women and girls are still at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to activism around sexual violence. We were intentional with Mute R. Kelly. Make no mistake about that. This was a direct, targeted campaign against him, and more than just him, to really allow Black women and girls and young men to have a voice, to have a platform. So that's really what Mute R. Kelly was.
And Mikki, carry that argument forward for us, and what it means to have women who come from a certain segment of society and look a certain way, or actually girls. Let's start with, for girls who come from a certain segment of society, to have this kind of support and to be heard.
So we can take this all the way back to Rosa Parks and the Committee for Justice for Recy Taylor, because what we're really
I think we might have lost Mikki. Kenyette, why don't you pick up where we just left off with Mikki until we can get her back in?
Absolutely. Well, Mikki makes a very good point. When we talk about Rosa Parks and her work around Recy, we've had these movements for decades, for years, of Black women really being at the forefront of these very controversial campaigns, these movements that really focus on marginalized women, on populations that people really deem as throwaways. I mean, there was no mistake that R. Kelly chose for Black girls and young men from inner city Chicago. There was no mistake. And we understand that had these not been for Black girls and young men, this would have not taken 30 years for him to seek justice. So yes, these hashtag movements, now it's a hashtag movement. It was a hashtag movement. Now, in a contemporary days, you know, we've seen it throughout history.
Well, and then that hashtag translated into action. And that's, April, I want to get you back into the conversation on that piece of it, because is this accountability of R. Kelly as a celebrity something that can be translated to protect victims of bigger or, you know, a more broader range of entertainment figures?
Well, I hope so, because what we know is that R. Kelly does not stand alone. You know, there is Woody Allen with allegations, Harvey Weinstein with allegations, Bill Cosby with allegations, and we've seen some of that come to light. I think the distinction here is that we have social media, right, which wasn't available in the time of Rosa Parks, and so very often stories were much more geographically based. Now someone can get on, you know, their social media platform of choice and really start having very deep introspective conversations about what's going on in the world. And that's necessary because we are able to hold each other accountable regardless of where we live, regardless of how old the allegations are. You know, I hope that the survivors are feeling a little sense of accountability. You know, I'm sure that this does not bring complete closure for them. And of course, we're still waiting for sentencing, which doesn't happen until May. And R. Kelly is still subject to other charges and crimes that he will stand trial for in other jurisdictions. But today is it seems a strong first step to finally holding him accountable for being convicted on all counts that were brought forward against him.
And Kenyette, what is the boundary between appreciating the art and understanding that the artist is a criminal?
There is no boundary. There is a boundary. It's a very hard boundary. And one of the things that we encountered throughout this campaign was this idea of censorship and separating the man from the music. And we really needed to be clear that when you listen to the R. Kelly's catalog, it literally is almost like a manifesto of a pedophile. It's like the music is the man. The music is who he is. And I think it is important for us to recognize that part of the responsibility of entertainers and those with that level, that profile, is that they have to have some degree of a moral compass. And we have to be able to have swift action when that moral compass is violated. And I think it's very difficult to separate the man from the music. We can't do that. And that has resulted in irreparable harm to countless Black women and girls and young men at the hands of R. Kelly.
And specifically with respect to R. Kelly, what we know is that he would sexually assault and abuse young girls in between takes. So in his studio, yes, he was recording music. He would call, 10-minute timeout or whatever the case may be. And then so there is no way. We also know that, when his music is on streaming platforms, that the proceeds from that music went to his legal fund. So people have to ask very hard questions of themselves. Are they going to continue to support a child trafficker and predator?
Right.
And that was the charges that he was convicted of were running a criminal enterprise. So the music itself was what was helping him hurt young Black boys and girls. Mikki, I'm so glad that we were able to get you back. And I want to give you the final word in the context of how the music and the artist, what can people do to combat misogynoir, the adultification of young Black girls?
So the first thing to do is to ask yourself why you think it's more the responsibility of the victim to be wise and make good choices than it is for the predator, right? So much of this conversation has been around, well, they should have known better. Well, why did they go there? Well, why didn't someone, whatever? The real answer here is that predators choose their prey, and predators groom not just their prey, but also the people that will protect them. Every time we see these marches and protests, every time we have this conversation about the man being separate from the music, we're really watching an incredibly engineered feat of grooming play out in a culture. And I know people will say, well, Black culture, but I watched a whole lot of very famous white artists who claim to be feminists perform with him. And I have to say that based off their responses, when someone challenged them on their choices, it was very clear that as a society, we do not think of young Black girls and women as people, that we still hold to that same archetype that somehow they are unrapeable, unprotectable, and they have never been children. And if we are not going to push back against that every day in our homes and in our media consumption and elsewhere, what we're really saying is don't pick these people as victims, pick those, and we won't do anything to you.
Yeah.
I am so appreciative for each of you women and what you have brought to this conversation on this day, and thank you for the work you do to really not only enlighten all of us, but to bring the culture and community forward, leading with women first. April Rain, Kenyette Tisha Barnes, and Mikki Kendall, thank you all for joining me tonight.